You might be familiar with the moment when love starts to feel confusing. You care deeply and you've had many conversations, so many attempts to make it work, but the same patterns are repeating. I used to feel this way in my relationship. I used to feel overshadowed by my partner, as if my partner was almost a parent to me, and I was not an equal. I was somehow having to do what children do, which is be seen and not heard. And that feeling was very confining and stressful and not what I was wanting. You might think about your partner, why do you get to decide how I'm supposed to be here? Don't I get to decide how I'm supposed to be? Part of you wants to say, please don't tell me how I have to be. I'd rather be directed from my heart. And you know the wisdom of that. But over time, you may start adjusting anyway, smoothing over things, keeping the peace, doing the emotional work for two, until one day the quiet truth surfaces inside of you. It feels like my life isn't mine anymore. And you sense that you've lost something, not just connection, but self-trust. And you don't feel like you can trust yourself there. You don't know where the boundary is. And you find yourself stuck between staying and leaving. And you may be thinking, I don't know what to do. And the pressure rises, like the universe is saying, figure this out already. And underneath the confusion is just a longing. I want to be more in a fulfilled place in my quality of life. And you know you're not wrong to feel that way. But you can't quite name what's off. It feels like you're being what they want you to be, not who you actually are. And that's a heartbreak. That's so stressful. Like you're losing your inner compass in a love relationship, but it doesn't feel like love at that point, or it's confusing. So why does this happen so easily for highly sensitive people? When your inner compass goes quiet, it isn't gone. It has just gotten surrounded by magnets. If you've ever played with a compass and you put a magnet near it, the compass will start, the needle will go over towards the magnet instead of towards true north. And we HSPs are affected by magnets more than other people. Everybody's affected by magnets. And what do I mean by a magnet is these pulls from a partner, these shoulds in a relationship, these beliefs that I have to be quiet and peaceful. Any kind of thing that directs me outward and pulls me away from my own experience is like a magnet. And it biases the compass that is in there. It can actually make it just spin around, and then you just don't know where north is anymore. So each should in a relationship can pull the needle off. It just pulls it off course. You should be calmer. You should try harder. You should be more grateful. You shouldn't need so much space. These little pulls distract us from the true experience of who we are and how we could fit into a relationship. Instead, we just forget about it and go right to what we think the other person wants. If you start orienting around those pulls instead of your own truth, then you get lost. You feel lost. The more you adapt, the more your compass will spin. And at first, this kind of effort to accommodate feels like love, and it seems like love, and it's like being understanding and being kind, and this is not a bad thing. But after a while, that effort can make it feel like you're not authentic anymore. You find yourself managing harmony instead of feeling connection. So we're going for superficial value of harmony in a relationship instead of the depth value of harmony. And that's why even honest talks stop helping sometimes, because you're trying to solve an alignment problem within yourself with effort by trying to make some changes on the outside. And that doesn't work. I have to get back in alignment with myself. I have to get in touch with that inner compass so that I can find its guidance and then navigate the relationship. Of course, overwhelm is a natural result of this, and it's not a sign that the relationship necessarily is bad. It could be a sign that your nervous system is just overloaded by too many external signals, too many magnets on the compass. You're believing too many thoughts, and you are getting distracted from what is the real truth inside of you. The mind keeps asking, what's the right direction? But I think the deeper question is, what is my direction? Why does it have to be a right direction out there? The real place of balance and freedom is finding my own direction, which is independent of what's going on around me. So how do you bring yourself and your relationship back to balance? Let's pause for a moment and maybe close your eyes if you can and take a slow breath and picture that compass in your hands. It's been spinning for a long time and reacting to every emotional field around you. Now ask quietly inside, what if my compass isn't broken? It's just been pulled by too many magnets. Don't try to force clarity. Just notice what happens in your body when you let that idea in. Maybe something loosens, maybe not yet. You're not deciding anything today. You're simply remembering that your sense of direction still exists. It's just been hidden under effort and expectation and distraction. Inside my program, the HSP Inner Freedom Program, we learn how to get in touch with our inner compass again. We do training. We build that muscle. And when you do that, you start to feel your own direction. And then when you find your own direction, you can begin participating in your relationship more as an equal instead of being pushed around by it or being eclipsed by it. Love doesn't have to mean losing yourself. Real connection happens when two full people meet, each guided by their own inner north. When you let your compass settle, clarity returns. And doesn't provide a plan, but it shows up as a kind of clear space for exploring.